let's be real. I think it's becoming more and more clear, Cheryl. They want another government shutdown. They see what's happening. Interest rates are down. Gasoline prices are down. The economy is improving. We saw one of the strongest growth rates. They are scared to death that America is going to do really well in 2026. And by the way, it is. And they're scared to death, and they want to stop that because they want to take government back next November.
Yeah, well, let's talk about that, because there's obviously a lot of business that needs to happen in January, and this is something not lost on Speaker Johnson. So lawmakers are weighing now a second budget reconciliation bill in the new year as a way to strengthen the party's position ahead of the midterms. This is very important. The House and the Senate reportedly did discuss a potential centerpiece for another bill that would use tariff revenues to send direct payments to taxpayers, and that would help offset rising health care costs once the Obamacare subsidies expire next week. Now, Jody Arrington says a new reconciliation bill it could actually reduce costs, increase competition, but you put some reforms in place for health care. Fair enough. August Pfluger says that you guys should be expanding the health care bill, the health savings accounts. Where are you in all of this? Because there seems to be a lot of competing ideas, in particular when it comes to health care, how to address the expiration of these subsidies. I mean, we're talking more than 20% jack up on rates for millions of Americans who aren't going to be happy about this as we're talking about the midterms next year.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, can't repeat it enough. Remember who got us in this trouble. It was the expanded COVID subsidies that the Democrats passed, giving people that make up to $500,000 a year subsidized health care, giving tens of billions of dollars to the health insurance companies rather than to the American people. So I think those options that you're talking about coming from various members of the House is a really good thing. Now let's coalesce in January and give people more options, because remember what happened. We have tried high-cost health care with Obamacare that has given people fewer options and choices. We need to give them more via choice, competition, and transparency. We can do that here in January. That's what I'll be looking for.
So is it a reconciliation bill, or is it a separate bill? I mean, I think that's where the confusion is here. So obviously, at some point, Speaker Johnson has got to, coalesce everyone and kind of get behind at least one line of thinking. And I say that because of the calendar, obviously. But I want you to listen to Speaker Johnson about kind of why this is so important to the party on a macro level. Listen to him. He was in Phoenix on Sunday at Turning Point. Listen.
This is not your father's Democrat Party anymore, and they want to dismantle the very foundations of our republic, and everything that we all stand for. Everything is on the line in the midterms of 2026, and we have much more to do. But if we lose the House majority, the radical left, as you've already heard, is going to impeach President Trump. They're going to create absolute chaos. We cannot let that happen, and I know you won't. I know you won't.
And obviously trying to rally support there for the Republicans, but it depends on who wins this messaging on affordability. And at this point, it seems the Republicans are having a tough time with that. And that's why I was asking about health care a moment ago, because that seems to be between that and real estate, or mortgages and rent. This is what the American people are saying they're most upset about.
We are on the leading edge, though. I look at where I live here, Cheryl, in northern Wisconsin. Gasoline under $2.50 a gallon for the first time in 5 years. Interest rates are coming down, probably going to come down more. We're seeing real growth in the economy. And then when the money kicks in here in regards to no taxes on tips, overtime, and Social Security, we're going to see real growth here in 2026. So the challenges are still there with other things. I mean, the Democrats made a hash of everything in the 4 years of Joe Biden, one of them being health care. And we do need to put together proposals, but we also need to message. We are on the leading edge of real growth here in America. Stay with us, American people, and we're going to continue to fix these one by one to put more money in your pocket and make America more affordable once again.
All right. Well, before you go, Congressman, and of course, we're going to be watching your work there. The field to replace Governor Tony Evers is starting to tighten up right now. How's the campaign going? What's the latest in the race in Wisconsin?
It's really good. And, you speak of affordability. all of the candidates that have gotten in on the Democrat side, there's 6 or 7 of them, and they've all said they're going to eliminate one of the signature pieces of legislation from a decade ago that finally got property taxes under control. And then in the same breath, those same Democrats will say, we need affordability. In the meantime, they get rid of property tax controls. And so we've got a great opportunity here. The Democrats are going to run to the left hard. I mean, one of the leading candidates says the founding of America was awful. He believes in defunding the police, and our educational system is in free fall. Wisconsin can do so much better.
Yeah, well, certainly we're going to be watching that race and many, many others as we go into 2026. It is time for the midterms, and again, this is so important. Everything that happens in the next 3 weeks. In Washington. Congressman Tom Tiffany. Thank you, Congressman. Merry Christmas. Thanks for being with us.
Christmas, Cheryl.
All right.